Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Alonso Q here to do a new video for you, and I'm gonna make a brief case for Gary Johnson. Coming from, I'm gonna give you my perspective as a libertarian, as a Chicano, and just say why we should support the libertarian ticket. Give them a shot. Hear them out. My main reason for supporting the libertarian ticket is the immigration issue. I think I think proposing a libertarian solution is the best way out of this situation, and Gary Johnson's solution I feel is pretty good. He's offering basically unlimited work visas to get people jobs legally, and I think that's what it's all about. I think free migration should be the law, and the best way to do that is to make work permits easily available to anybody. And I think he's not talking about giving citizenship away just for nothing, but he's saying if you want to work here, you should be able to get a permit, get a social security card, so that way you're getting paying into social security and getting the proper taxes taken and everything. Super reasonable. That's the big thing because I think Donald Trump, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna say illegal immigration isn't an important issue to talk about, but I think his approach is fucking way off. I don't think it's as big of a issue as people are making it, and I don't want to see people suffer over laws. That's why I'm a libertarian. Laws fuck people's shit up. The government's always fucking people's shit up. I don't want to see a new administration fucking people's shit up. I'm a little worried about that with Trump. But anyway, back to Gary Johnson. Libertarians don't like him because he's not libertarian enough, and that's my biggest problem with him. Is he's really not pushing the libertarian. He's more like a independent at this point, or like a moderate Democrat or a moderate Republican. He's playing this as an independent or as a down the middle guy, and I don't like that because what's appealing about libertarianism is small government, and he's not talking about small government. He's not talking about the Constitution, and I mean he is, but not enough. And I get the criticisms. Paul Joseph Watson's criticism was really good. Everything he said in there is true, except for him calling Johnson supporters idiots. But hey, man, it's a video. I know what it is. But look, I'm not opposed to voting for him. He hasn't won my vote, but he hasn't lost my vote yet. Some of his antics have been stupid. I don't like how he tried to pander to Hispanics with his little freak out about talking about undocumented immigrants. Man, such a stupid thing to make himself look that foolish over. But hey, and look, I am one of these New Mexico Hispanics that he's trying to pander to, and it didn't work on me, man. You lost more of my support by doing that shit than you gained. So good looking out, Gary. Good looking out. I'm not offended by the word illegal immigration. I'm just as concerned about this issue as other Americans, and my people were never illegal here, so it's kind of fucked up to this assumption that Democrats make that all Latino people and all Hispanic people in this country are illegal, and that's sort of like what Gary Johnson is pushing. And I got what he was getting at. There's a lot of Hispanic named people in New Mexico, and what are you gonna do to round them up? That's a legitimate point. But man, look, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo is how a lot of us came to this country, in New Mexico especially. So we're fifth, sixth, fourth generation. We've been here longer than most Americans. It's kind of silly to think that we're offended by by this notion of immigration when a lot of us never even immigrated. The border just literally crossed over us. So he's pandering the wrong way. I don't like people pandering. I really don't like pandering. So he's pushing me away with that nonsense. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm voting based on who's gonna follow the rule of law, who's gonna follow the Constitution best. So far, he's the only person who seems like he's letting the Constitution guide his thinking at all. I don't. The Khan family at the DNC pulled up the Constitution, but I'm wondering if Hillary's read the Constitution. I don't know what she's proposing has anything to do with the Constitution, and I don't know what Jill Stein's proposing has to do with the Constitution, or Donald Trump doesn't seem to have a very good control of a very good grasp of the Constitution either. So Gary Johnson, he's not perfect, especially as a libertarian, but okay, so he's pandering to Democrats a little bit. It's frustrating, but maybe he'll pull a few in. Maybe they'll question their loyalty to the Democrats. And voting for a libertarian is a good gateway to learning about libertarianism. Gary Johnson is not a good spokesman for libertarianism. I learned more from Ron Paul than I ever learned from Gary Johnson, and Ron Paul was a master. If you want to learn about libertarianism, go watch his debate videos, because he schooled everybody in the Republican debates. But that's not Gary Johnson. If he gets in the debates, I can't imagine he's going to school anybody, because he's not principled, and he doesn't embrace the non-aggression principle or really talk about liberty the way most libertarians do, which is frustrating. But if he's got a voice, he's pulling above 10% in a lot of places. He's got potential to pull people in, and that's what we want. We want to go forward. And if you're frustrated with the two candidates and you're thinking of making a protest vote, why not vote for Gary Johnson? Maybe he's not the best guy, but he's pushing libertarianism forward, and I think that's important. And look, in 2008, I voted Constitution Party because I didn't like the Libertarian candidate. So I'm not opposed to doing that again. Straight up, I support people's right to do that too. People say this is an important election and not to let Hillary get elected. But people on Hillary's side say the same thing. This is important, and we can't let Trump get elected. I'm living in a blue state, Hispanic state, so I hear it from both sides. But I think if you're gonna make a protest vote right now, we have a chance to really make a stand with Gary Johnson and say, look, there's a bunch of us. You need to listen to us more. Republicans need to listen to the Libertarians. Democrats need to listen to the Libertarians, because this is where America's at. We want freedom. We want liberty. And even though Gary Johnson's not the best advocate for liberty, he's what we got right now. And he's out there. He has a chance to get in the debates. He's really polling astonishing well for a third party. So I don't think we should rule him out yet. And I think the more we back him, the more they have to listen to us. Maybe not him. Maybe he's not putting forward the best libertarian ideas, but they'll be forced to listen to us. And I think that's why we should get behind Gary Johnson, at least for now. Come election time, I'm not going to judge anybody for who they vote for. This whole election is a clusterfuck. Right in Mickey Mouse, man. Shit. It's one of those years. I honestly don't care that much about who ends up being president, but I think it does matter who you vote for, and you should really think about it. Yeah, so Gary Johnson, he's not the best. I don't like his pandering. I wish he'd stop pandering to Democrats and start pandering to libertarians if that's if he's gonna pander at all. I wish it would be to us and not to Democrats, because libertarians, you have us and you're losing us. And you're the most conservative person running for president right now, and you're running like a Democrat. It's dumb. You could get so many Republicans, so many conservative Democrats, but because you are the only person who wants to shrink government. That's why I'm considering Gary Johnson. He wants to shrink government. Everyone else wants to make it bigger. Um, and that should be the guiding principle of libertarians. I know he's straying off the non-aggression principle, but smaller government is better than bigger government, as far as I'm concerned. So Gary, I'm wanting to vote for you. Please work harder to win my vote, cause I don't know what's gonna happen come election day. But Chicanos, everybody out there who sees this video, Chicano or not, I hope you give Gary Johnson a listen. I think he's got the best plans for economics. Economists have rated him as one of the better candidates. He's bringing a lot to the table, man. He's bringing a lot to the table. Not enough for a lot of libertarians, but at least he wants to reduce the size of government. He wants to increase individual freedom, legalize weed. He wants to get work permits into the hands of these immigrants instead of having them be stuck in the cracks somewhere. I like his immigration better than anybody else. I like his economics better than anyone else. His foreign policy, so far, I like him better than everyone else, even though he's not the best. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think. Check him out. I'll probably link to some of his stuff. And yeah, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Check out for the next one.